beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome day. Today we're in front of my coffee bar because I'm not really sure where I'm filming at lately. And yeah, so today we're going to talk about makeup. We're going to do my favorites and fails for October 2022. October is my favorite month of the year, obviously, but it's also been a really hard month for me this month. Maybe we can do like a chatty get ready with me and I can just vent soon, but as for today, we're going to talk about my favorites and fails. I'm going to do these in no particular order. Some of these are fails, and some of these are really nice. So let's get started. First thing in my favorites and fails I do want to mention is from my own small business, theopencrypt.com, and it is these Whimsigoth lashes from my small business. Now these are a pretty flary, lovely style, and they come with different paper than the original photo show, which I added some pictures of the new paper that I cut out and put back here. Really lovely stuff. You'll love the lashes. They're reusable up to 20 times. If you take really good care of them, you can make them last a lot longer than that. But we have a thin band, so it's really easy and flexible to move around and bend to your eyes, make it really look natural. So yeah, and they're vegan, faux mink, synthetic fibers. So first favorite is from my own small business. I really thought like, it's spooky all year, right? Like I have jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins and things like that, like Halloween themed things all year long. So I thought October was gonna be a really good month for my small business, and instead, it's been rough. It's been real rough. So, I mean, it's fine. Everything's gonna go up and down. But I don't know. This month has not been the October I expected, but that's okay because there's always another October in a year from now. I hate thinking how far away the next October is, but anyways, sorry to rant. But let's get started. So before we get started with the makeup things, I do want to give a quick like favorite to something I did get this month that is not makeup, and it's the Boo Buckets from McDonald's. Now I never found the green witch. Now she's called a McGoblin, but originally back in the 90s and early 2000s she was a witch, so I'm still calling her a witch. I never found that bucket. However, I did get the pumpkin and the ghost. There's different faces on them. The only thing I don't like about, well, there's two things. One, they don't have the lid like originally, like back in the day. You got like a cute little cupping lid that went over that was really nice. Now it just has this handle with a little fake lid on it, which kind of sucks. But also, it's free with your Happy Meal, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about the quality of a free bucket, you know? And then also, the other thing I don't really like is the faces are not aligned to the handle. So from the front of the handle, none of the faces are aligned perfectly. I wish they were centered with the handle, like the faces would be front and center, but they're not. But yeah, that was my first favorite because I was scouring for these Boo Buckets. I'm not really a McDonald's person, but I was this month because I really wanted those buckets. They were only out for a week. They sold a lot of places in like LA and big cities like that, sold out immediately. I was lucky enough to get 2 of the 3 designs, but that was my find for this month as far as Halloween stuff goes. I found the Boo Buckets. Let me know what you guys would use these for. Personally, when we do our laundry room, I have 2 of the white ones and 2 of the orange one. I'm going to use these for like Tide Pods, dryer sheets, scent beads, stuff like that. I think for laundry storage, this could be really cute. Alright, into the makeup now. I already talked about a pair of lashes from my small business, but I also wanted to shout out a Halloween pair of lashes from Kiss. It's the ones that I'm actually wearing today. They're big, they're flary. I thought they really matched like the October vibe. So these are the matte black faux mink soft and matte finish ones. Here is the style number and everything. They're from Kiss's like holiday line. I think they have this style all year long. This just happens to be the Halloween packaging. These lashes are so pretty. And Kiss is affordable too, which, you know, I'm here for. But I really like the chunky, whoosh, whoosh, like tons of lashes into these little flares on the lashes. They're super cute, super cute. And then also something I'm using with that today came in it. They sent me a couple pairs of lashes and 2 pairs of nails. So I just tried it. It's not sponsored. But this is the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive Poison Gardens for the Halloween theme. And this is in the color black. I always use black lash glue, so there's no like, on my band there's no like discoloration usually, which makes it trickier for placement. So if you're not as experienced with placing lashes, I wouldn't suggest black lash glue because you're going to notice it if you have to remove your lashes or readjust them. But I love black lash glue, and this is actually really nice. I used this yesterday and today, and I'm really liking this lash glue. It's holding really well. A lot of the times with lashes, I feel like the inner corner just wants to pop out, but this one, it's holding it really well. It's a nice glue. It's latex free, which I know a lot of people don't like latex based glues. So both these items from Kiss are affordable and really well made. Really well made, really good. Since we talked about the lashes and lash glue that I'm wearing, let's talk about the eyeshadow that I'm wearing today. So this is my eyeshadow look. It's nothing outlandishly beautiful, but I have mixed feelings on this palette. So the palette is gorgeous, the palette is stunning, the formula is fantastic. I just feel like one or two of the colors feel out of place for me. So this is the Spooked palette by Gourmand Girls in collaboration with DoodlesByBunny. The brand Gourmand Girls and DoodlesByBunny, both very talented. And DoodlesByBunny makes some really cute doodles. If you've never seen her Instagram before, I've been following it for a while. Super cute designs. So this is a collaboration between them two. And this Spooked palette, first of all, it's so pretty, right? Like the packaging with the kind of color changing situation reflective thing, and then the spider webs in the black and white, really pretty. And then here's the inside of the palette. It's stunning, right? It's so freaking pretty. Some of the colors are just so fun. Like, I would never have thought of some of these color combinations together, and it's really, really perfect. The only reason I have mixed feelings on it is because I just feel like this bloody shade is so pink. I even swatched it to make sure, like, oh, maybe it comes off more red in the eyes. It's so pink that I feel like if I use this really pretty red matte, it's gonna make my red matte look pink by comparison. I just wish this was a red. And then I also kind of wish that this dark plum shade was a little bit more true purple and a little less brown in shade on the eyes when I pack it on. But other than that, it's so lovely. I keep using this green. This green, today I just used the little bit of the orange to start off my crease and then packed on a lot of the brown. It's so lovely. And then on my lid, I have the shade Spirit. It's a beautiful palette. I love, 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 love the shimmers. And the mattes perform really well too, but the shimmer on my lid, I just feel like it's so iridescent and sparkly and effortless looking. I feel like the pink is out of place. I don't really know what to do with this purple-ish shade. But other than that, it's really lovely. I love the bright red in here. I think the oranges and the greens and everything. And this grungy olivey green, it's really, really good. I just wish there was one or two shades. There's just one or two shades I personally would have changed, but you know, I didn't think of the palette. Maybe she had a better look in mind. So next up, let's talk about a palette one you guys sent me. This one I was not expecting. This is so pretty. So this is from Nomad Cosmetics, and this is the Haunted Europe palette. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Love the front. Has like that scratchy thing. And then here's the inside. I've worn it probably 5 times now. It is so pretty. For days like on the weekends, I don't usually like to think about my eye looks on the weekends. I kind of just do it and have a nice look and be done with it. That's kind of the palette this is kind of the palette I've been reaching for. I haven't really dipped into the bright orange and greens yet, but as far as like these kind of more muted shades, especially this one and this one, they've looked really, really pretty on eye looks without a lot of effort. This shade also. Again, I don't know what to do with the bright pinks in palettes. I don't really know what to do with it, but this one has more of that like Barbie tone that it's like so bold. It's kind of nice, but also I don't know what to do with it. But overall, the formula has been so pretty. The shimmers are so metallic. They're so metallic, which is like my favorite. It's a really lovely palette. I can't wait to dive into more of the orange and greens in here because I've been using it for neutral looks and it's come out really nicely. Let's continue on with the palettes now because palettes are the most fun. So this is the new Sigma palette. This is in collaboration with Diana Saldana. I think that's how you say her last name. Now this palette, when I saw it, I was like, very pretty. But I've had a hard time reaching for other things. Like when I reached for the Nomad palette and the Spooked palette, it's because I was like, I'm filming. Oh, the Nomad palette's more of a weekend thing. The Spooked palette's more like, I'm filming. I need to look nice. This has been like, I need to run some errands kind of palette. This is so pretty. It's so pretty. If you look at my description box when I film something and you see something on my face, I'll tag what's on my face down below. Sometimes I've been wearing this palette recently and that's when I've gotten the most compliments. Like I think it might have been the Unfiltered Opinions on Halloween releases. I did a really orange, burnt orange look with this and I got so many compliments on it from you guys. This has been such a good, like, I want to look presentable today, throw on the palette kind of look. It's just so lovely. There's a cat climbing a kitchen cabinet. That's why I look so distracted. But look, these are not like, oh my god, the most spectacular original shades in the world, but they're beautiful. They work really well. And these are also very metallic shimmers. Some of them are more subtle than others. I do like the ones that are a little more extra metallic than more subtle sheer shimmers. But it works really well. It works really well. I really like the muted shades in these. But the orange in here, when I did the orange look and I put, I think it was this shade all over my lid and then covered it with a little bit of this gold to get like a nice orangey effect. It came out so pretty. Like honestly, eyeshadow has been something I've really been enjoying this month. Just having fun with it, whether it's like the Nomad thing I just throw on to look presentable. It's easy, I don't have to think about it. I love that kind of palette. Or if it's more like bright colors and stuff, they've been fun. Like eyeshadow's been good this month, and it makes me feel like I have beautiful palettes I really enjoy using. I don't need to buy every single palette in the world, you know? Like when you have a couple ones you're like, ooh, this is really lovely, don't want to put it down. I know I don't need all the palettes in the world, but I love palettes. So next up, let's talk about something I did a review. I did a full review of this Rock and Roll Beauty, which is apparently Makeup Revolution. I didn't know. I didn't know. Ozzy Osbourne palette that I got from Ulta's website. This palette was surprising to me because like I've never heard of Rock and Roll Beauty. And here is the inside. As we saw in that video, it performed really well. I didn't think it was the most spectacular mattes in the world. They worked. It was easy to use, good enough. But I will say, I'm a little bored with it already. I'm a little bored with it. I think the colors in here are pretty. I like the theme. I like the fact that it's shaped like a coffin. And I love the fact there's a lot of grungier, more muted, cool tones in here. Like they're not just like all bright green. Like this shade right here, very muted. And so is this one and this one. I really like that about it, which is kind of what called to me. It's kind of just a little grungy and I like that. But I'm kind of bored with it. Like the mattes worked. It was fine, but it wasn't like, oh my god, these mattes are amazing kind of quality. But the shimmers were really easy to put on my lid as well, like really effortless. It was fine. It was fine. It's a fine palette. It's a fine palette. And I also don't think you can get that one anymore, but you can still get the bat shaped one from this collection. I didn't know it was Makeup Revolution. Y'all did some research and found out that it was, and that's impressive. Does Makeup Revolution own 100 brands and we just don't know? Next up in the palettes is the new one from Alter Ego. It's been so long since they released a new palette. Honestly, Goddess is my all-time favorite Alter Ego palette. And then Shadow Kiss is coming up behind it because that's one I've probably used the most in the last year. Alter Ego has some great palettes. Now I'm an affiliate. I have a code Porcelain. You can use it to save money off of them or my link. And you don't have to if you don't want to. It's all up to you. I'm just here to tell you the new one, the new Harmony one is so good. Now these are usually just dupes for other palettes that I can't afford. Straight up. There's like a lot of Natasha Nono ones and stuff like that. I can't afford those high-end palettes, but I can't afford the dupe, and the dupe works really well, so why do I care if it has the fancy label on it? So here's the Harmony palette. I've gotten 3 uses out of it so far. It's been really lovely. One of the looks I did was more of a plum, which I don't really like purple that much, but I wanted to try it. And then 2 of the looks are pretty more taupey browns because I use this shimmer right here. It's really easy to use. So if you like this kind of color scheme, you really like this palette. I thought it was so nice that it has this kind of off-white shade for like underneath your brow bone, and then I can go in with more bold, warm colors. So that really works for me. The palette works nicely. It's not my everyday kind of color scheme, but it's better than me buying an expensive palette I can't afford and then not using. At least if I buy this and I get a few looks out of it, I feel like I got my money's worth. Whereas if I spend $100 on a palette, I'm not gonna get my money's worth. Lastly, let's talk about another thing I did review. This is the ColourPop and Hocus Pocus Round 3 palettes. So there's a whole bunch of that stuff in the collection. I really just want to talk about the palette because the palette's the most, you know, it's the most out of everything. So this one is called All Hallows Eve. I do not like the artwork on this palette. I just, it gets more cartoony, more cartoony, more cartoony every single year, even though it is a live action movie. So why? So the artwork I don't like. Like, why is her face made out of squares? Don't like the artwork, but the color scheme is the best one. Out of all 3 collabs they've done with Hocus Pocus, this is the best color scheme. I think it's so freaking pretty. It's lovely. We did a one eye being one color, one eye being the other color in that video. It worked out really well. The quality is good, especially for the price. ColourPop really does give you the good quality for that price tag. I really like how the orange side looks when you do like the bright orange. You kind of work your way down to this trio of shadows. I like that everything has a nice pairing, which makes me very happy because I don't like to think about looks sometimes, but I want to look cute. So things that have pairings of colors work really well for me. And I think it performed really well. I just feel like I haven't used this palette as much because I've had the other ones this month. Like if I was gonna reach for some of these colors, I probably would reach for the Gourmand Girls Spooked palette over this one. but it is pretty. It is pretty. So that is it for palettes. I feel like that was a lot of palettes that I've tried this month, and they were really nice. Now let's talk about something that is not very nice. Now this is the second time I bought this. I bought it a really long time ago and I don't remember if I liked it or not, but recently I need a new liquid eyeliner, so I went to Ulta and I said, hey, I don't want to spend $21 on an eyeliner. Let's go to the NYX section and pick this up. And a mistake was made that day. So this is the Epic Ink Liner from NYX. I swear I used to use this all the time. I swear I did. Because it's very familiar of me saying Epic Ink Liner. Like, the words feel familiar to my mouth. But this has made such a mess. So let's look at my eyeliner. I don't really know if we can tell. It bled and it's bleeding into my lines. Do you see these little specks on my face? I had to draw fake freckles on the rest of my face because when I was drawing on my eyeliner, it's leaving little specks off of my brush. I took the tip of it and wiped it down with paper towel because I was like, ooh, maybe I just shook it up too much and there's too much coming out of the little felt tip, and that's why it left these little lines in my face, these little dots on my face, but it didn't help. It's just messy of a product. And then I had to keep drawing my eyeliner on bigger because it kind of bled into my lines. Like, I can't get these off. And then it kind of bled into my lines under my eyes, which was very disappointing. I wanted a very thin, sleek line for my eyeliner today, and it just bled into my lines, so I made it a little thicker. I'm not going to repurchase that. I'm not going to repurchase it. But also, what is your favorite affordable eyeliner? Because $21 for like the Better Than Church eyeliner or something, it's not affordable all the time. Next up, let's talk about two waterline eyeliners. Firstly, let's talk about the one that I am wearing today that I got in a subscription box a while back. This is the Sugar Rush from Tarte Easy on the Eyes Gel Liner. I don't like that I can't sharpen this. I guess you technically could, but the sharpening just makes it really nice because I feel like when I get to the bottom of this twisting isn't going to work anymore. The twisting is way more convenient than sharpening a gel pencil because it's not going to obviously break on you as easy as it would if you were sharpening the tip fell off. But I feel like when it gets to the bottom of this, if I get to the bottom of it, it's going to be hard to get the last bit out because this thing can only screw up so much, you know? But as far as the waterline goes, it's really nice, really easy to apply. It's very soft on my eyes, which I appreciate. And then also it shows up really well with only like one finesse over, like you swipe it on, you come back over it. Really good, because a lot of gel liners, I gotta like work to put it in there. So that worked really well for me. The other one also got in a subscription box. I think it was an Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. This is the KVD Tattoo Pencil Liner in the shade Verdetta Green 60. Now I did use this. I was wearing it in the video, and then I also wore it when we did the Ozzy Osbourne palette video. This is a really pretty cream green pencil. Easy to use, and it really stays in the waterline. Like at the end of the day, when I was ready to take all that Ozzy makeup off, I was really scrubbing at my waterline because it wants to stick, it wants to stay, and that is a good feature in an eyeliner. I do want to fight it a little bit to get on my waterline because I have watery eyes, and if I just have a loose sitting waterline pencil in there and my eyes water from me stepping outside for 2 seconds without sunglasses on, a lot of the times a lot of my waterline liner will just go away. That stuck in there and I appreciated it. Another KVD item that I used this month was the new black liquid lipstick. This one is called Black Briar. They released this in a new limited edition packaging. When they released their new, I reviewed the new formula, the Hyperlight formula of their Everlasting lipsticks. They didn't have any fun, bold colors, and I was like, you're KVD, you're supposed to be kind of exciting, you're tattoo based now, that's kind of like, give me some fun, punchy colors. They didn't do that, but they did release this black one, and I will say it's a very black liquid lipstick formula. Super, super comfortable. It does take 1 or 2 little finesses over it to get it perfectly opaque, especially on the edges of your lips, but for being a black lipstick, it is comfortable, easy to wear, very dark, which is what you want, so it is definitely worth the purchase. Next up, I did use a setting spray today, and I thought it was really nice. I'm just going to touch on it quickly because I know setting spray isn't the most exciting thing in the world. This is the Ofra Rodeo Drive Makeup Fixer. They released a whole bunch of new Rodeo Drive things. I talked about them in the beginning of one of my videos. They released a new highlighter for lighter skin and darker skin, and then their classic Rodeo Drive, which is kind of in the middle. And this was also one of those things they released in that collection. It's just a beautiful, it looks like one of those, you know, like lava shaken setting sprays. I just think it looked really well to make my skin look a little more dewy. I'm wearing a very matte Makeup Revolution foundation today, and then my skin still looks kind of lively. And I also used a setting powder I'm not really fond of, that Fenty lavender one. And I was like, ooh, these two things together, my face looks really dry. And I used this setting spray and I really like used a lot of it. And then my skin looks nice and like kind of luminous and nice without being like super flat. And also my face is staying on, which is great. So as a setting spray, my face is still on, and then as like this little bit of luminous in here, I feel like my face looks less flat than it did before I applied it. Lastly, I want to talk about something that I don't know if it's a fail or not, like color wise. It's fine, but I feel like it got lost. So let's talk about it. This is the Fenty Contour Stick Match Stick in Amber 01. This is their lightest contour stick Fenty released. Now I saw this trending on TikTok as like the ultimate goth contour. I don't identify as goth. Oh no, I stuck my fingernail on it. But I do like a cool tone contour. So this is the stick color that I bought, Amber 1. It's the color everybody was talking about. And it works fine, but I feel like when I go to blend it out, it disappears. It's not even the shade. I feel like the shade would hold up with a light blending, but I just feel like when I go to blend it in, it kind of disappears on the skin. But I don't blame the color for that. I think it's really the formula. So if you use the contour sticks, the match sticks from Fenty, let me know if they all kind of disappear on the skin, because I feel like I was very lightly blending this and then I feel like I was missing like a something out of the middle or something. It was just, it's not, I guess it's too creamy, too soft, where it got lost. But I do want to try it again, like maybe tapping with my finger so it doesn't disappear on me. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think a lot of these things were a hit. There were 1 or 2 things where I kind of had like nitpicking points, and there was 2 things that were kind of a fail for me as far as like didn't do what I was hoping for, but mostly good things this month, honestly. I just kind of wish I had gotten that witch boo bucket. I don't really have a lot of green in my house besides plants, but why do I want that boo bucket? It's just to have the trio, I think. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good October. October is my favorite month of the year, and I'm sad it's over, especially because I feel like I didn't enjoy it this month. But you know, it is what it is. Things go up and, you know, your mood goes up and down, everything like that. But thank you guys so much. I actually kind of like this filming space. So now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like this filming space. What do you think? What do you think? Anyways, I'll stop talking now. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Have a lovely day and happy spooky season while we still have it.